Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is your captain, Marley Chillin speaking. Soon we'll set flight to France. We know their YouTube channels are our client's preference, so we thank you for flying Football United Airways. Fasten your seatbelt, sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight. United, we fly.
United we fly, and the cabin crew will be coming through the aisle with their drinks and edible snacks. So please relax, wait until that happens, and enjoy the show, everybody.
Please do.
Here we are. Sorry, Marley, I forgot the banner, the front thing.
It's all good.
We are here today to talk about Ligue 1 in France, and we're here with none other than Lille fan Shaheen. Bro, how are you doing, mate?
Very good. Delighted to be with you guys. Honored to participate for the first time in something like this. So very, very happy to be there to talk about French football, and especially my favorite club right there. And I apologize in advance because my English is not my first language. So if I make any mistakes, I guess it's normal.
Right. Welcome, man.
Thank you
it's
very
awesome
much.
to have you here. Faites comme chez vous. You're always going to be welcome here.
Thanks a lot. Merci beaucoup.
De rien, mec. Right, Maddie. How do you want to get this started, man?
Ooh, well, maybe seeing as Shaheen's here, maybe we should ask about the weekend's results in Ligue 1, especially starting off with Lille versus Strasbourg. They won. A beautiful result for you. How did you feel about that result? And after that, how do you feel about the league in general at the moment?
Okay, so let's start by saying I'm a big Lille fan since I was a kid, because it's obviously my city, which is in the north of France. For those that don't really know about it, so not that far from England actually. Yeah, for the game, so I watched the game this weekend against Strasbourg. Very hard-fought game because we're having quite a difficult start on the season since we switched coaches at the beginning of the season. Even though we won the title last year, it's always difficult to get started with a new season with new coach. Also, our president is a new one because last year at the half of the season, our president just got out of the club and somebody else came in. So the club isn't really stable right now. So the start of the season wasn't that easy, even though a lot of the players that won the title stayed this summer. But actually, the game in Strasbourg was one of the best we had this season. A very hard-fought game. If you see the images of the game, you can see Timothy Weah, which is our American striker, just got his eye completely busted and a lot of blood on his face. So that shows you how the game went. A very hard game. But actually, we played pretty good. Jonathan David is having a very good start of the season, our Canadian striker. So it was a very important win for us because this season we didn't manage to win 2 games in a row, and we did last week, beating Reims at home on Wednesday and then Strasbourg on the weekend. So a very important win for us, and I hope it will allow us to have a little bit of confidence going into the Champions League game tomorrow in Austria, in Salzburg. And for the league in general, I think this season is really one of the best I've seen, at least for the start. We only had 8 games yet, but a lot of different teams are really playing well. They're really playing offensive football, which wasn't the case for a lot of the precedent years. So it's I'm very happy to see that we have great coaches, great players. Obviously, with Messi that came to Ligue 1, Peter Bosz, which is the coach in Lyon, who's doing an amazing job, and even the small clubs that get up from Ligue 2 are starting to go into Ligue 1 with wanting to play offensive football and attractive football, which wasn't the case in the past. A lot of teams in Ligue 1 was pretty much parking the bus and waiting the whole season, hoping to stay in Ligue 1. So the league is really going well. The big teams didn't all start with good results, even though Marseille is doing pretty well. Marseille is unbelievable. You should watch Marseille games because it's completely crazy with Sampaoli on the bench. So that's a sum up of how it's going for the start of the season.
I saw one game with Marseille when it got abandoned by Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that disrupt things a little bit in the French league, and take notes of it and kind of counteract what fans should be doing, and et cetera. Was it a big deal in France, that event?
Yeah, actually, it's a big deal because it's not the only event. That's the bad part for this season. Even though we're having one of the best seasons in terms of what's happening on the pitch. I think we only had 1-0 this season so far, which is unbelievable knowing French football.
Crazy.
That's crazy. But unfortunately, the fans in the stadiums are pretty crazy this year. I don't know if it's because we weren't able to go to the stadium for a full year, or I don't know if that has any. Yeah, I think it might be that. But we've had. I don't even know if I can remember all of the situations. We had Nice, Marseille, of course, with the players. That fought with the fans that invaded the pitch. We've had actually my club who played in Lens, which is the big derby in the derby of north of France, and the same thing happened. So the fans from Lens got on the pitch to fight our fans in the visitor on the visitor side, and this was last weekend, and on Sunday. So. Our game was on a Saturday, and on Sunday there was another game between Angers and Marseille, and the same thing happened again. So it's really special this year with the fans doing crazy stuff, and of course that's not what you want to see. You want to be able to go to the stadium to see a great game, to have a great atmosphere, but they're really taking this too far, and actually it's starting to become really a big deal because it's happening again and again. So. The government is actually looking at it to see what can be the solution, but I hope it stops, and then we can just focus on what's happening on the pitch, which is really good this year.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of things that are quite interesting for us to touch on, like this, I don't know, like face of French football, where apparently fans are getting a little more aggressive, and also the fact that the French, like not only the French league, but French football is growing so fast.
Yeah.
Like, you see, the French national team, like, it didn't win the Euros, sure, but it's so much better than any other national team in the world. Like, so much better right now. Like, so many good players. But one thing that I really want to take advantage of the fact that right now, like, you're the only guest that we have, and you're a Ligue fan. I want to get what the general feeling is for a team like that, because clearly, like, you guys are quite talented at finding talent on the cheap, right? Like, you guys have amazing scouting. For a good couple of years now.
Yeah.
I would guess, like, I'm not really like knowledgeable in that area, but I would guess that you guys have a decent academy as well, like a youth setup that works like decently well. But you guys are like a hell of a selling club. Like that's pretty much like the big basis of the whole business, like how the club is led. And if you weren't a selling club, it could very well be one of the best clubs in the world. So I want to get like what's the general feeling for a Ligue fan? Mainly now with the arrival of PSG, which means like you're not going to be able to compete most seasons. Like what's the feeling you guys have?
Well, it's a very interesting question because one of the problem we have in the French league is actually the people that come by the clubs, they don't stay very long. There's not really a big stability in the clubs. So Lille is a perfect example of that because we started as a small club, pretty good club, but pretty small club in France. We grew up pretty much naturally with with the academy, like you said, with big players that got in. We had Eden Hazard, of course, that was in Lille's academy. So a lot of big players that allowed us to get pretty good results, start to get into European competitions. And then in 2010, 2011.
Let's go!
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. Just
Matthew, welcome.
just came back. Was doing some running.
What's your face, Matthew? Where are you, bro?
Because I didn't have the time to take a shower.
Oh,
So it's not the greatest time to show my face, unfortunately. But I'm so happy to be back here. Sorry to have interrupted you, mate, by the way. Very
No
sorry.
problem, no problem. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Matthew, this is Shaheen, Matthew. Shaheen
Yeah.
supports Lille. Are you living in Lille as well, Shaheen?
Yep.
Right, cool. So local lad.
Yo,
Right.
that's nice.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
Shaheen was in the middle of yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go on.
Yeah,
Don't
thank you.
mind me. Don't mind me.
No problem.
Welcome back, my man. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We was actually talking about how it feels to be a Lille fan and how the club grew up in the last several years. And I was saying that Lille does, like a lot of clubs in France, don't have much of a stability because we changed pretty much every 5-10 years. We changed coaches. We changed
The board, I would say.
yeah, the board, exactly.
Yeah, I
That was the word I was searching for. And what happened is we won the title in 2010, 2011, and then we gave a big salaries to a lot of players, and it didn't work out. So we pretty much had a pretty rough years. I'd say between 2013 and 2017. Actually, 2017, 2018, we almost got into the second division. So it was a very hard season for us. Exciting but hard. Yeah. And at this point, the new board came in with Gerard Lopez, with Luis Campos at head of scouting. And at this time, we started to bring in a lot of young players, amazing players that we were able to transfer for big money. But we actually saw that a lot of this money didn't go into the club. It pretty much went in Gerard Lopez's pockets. And after 3-4 years, he got out the club with Luis Campos, with all of the scouting guys that were doing an amazing job, actually. And now we have a new board since the beginning of last year. And we're still seeing what is gonna. What they're gonna do with the club. Are we gonna be a very ambitious club? Are you gonna sell? So that's the difficulty we have as fans. We don't really know how the club is gonna grow in the next few years. But next to that, when you're a true fan, you just stick to it. I mean, even though you don't have much visibility, you don't know if the club is gonna go bad or stay at the top of the table. But like you said, of course, we're not looking at fighting for the championship every year, because obviously when you have PSG in Ligue 1, they're supposed to win it every year. I mean, yeah. So exactly, the money we don't have the money to compete. But next to that,
it's more than that. It's the institution. Like Lille isn't a club that is how to say that is the system. The functioning of Lille is not to compete to win the championship every time. It's more to play in Europe and slowly establish itself as the great clubs. Something that clubs like Nice have been trying to do for several years, or clubs like Marseille who are trying to reclaim their I would say ancestral greatness, because it's been quite a long time now. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It was kind of a fluke, I would say, last year, or very unexpected, but at the same time, I mean, it was deserved. You can say it wasn't deserved. PSG weren't great. I mean, objectively speaking, they weren't great. Okay, they went into the semi-finals of Champions League. You could say they
went to the final.
No, last year it was the semi-final. They went out to Manchester City. And truthfully, when you look at how they played and how they play now, it's not good at all. But at the same time, Ligue 1 is kind of is in a very interesting situation in which I was talking about it on the podcast quite some time ago. But basically, all the historical clubs like you see Saint-Etienne, you see Bordeaux, etc. You saw Toulouse going down 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They are clubs that aren't. I mean, Toulouse now are doing great, but back then, all of them, they are clubs that are run very poorly, and they are literally making Ligue 1 a very weak league, actually. And because they are going down and they are replaced with team that wants to play, you see Clermont, you see Troyes, you see Angers. No, they're doing fantastic. In League Two, you see Paris FC. You see plenty of teams that play well, and there's kind of a shift. And slowly, I would say the league is gonna get more. It's gonna get less one-sided. Like, okay, PSG is still gonna be the best club, but it's not gonna be as they are never going to be as dominant. And if they are dominant now, it's due. I mean, we have to say it's partially due to luck and to. I mean, it's PSG. It's individuality is at its finest, and we've seen. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen almost every game PSG's played this season, and it's not great at all. So, getting back to Lille, I think they will establish themselves as a big club, but it's gonna take some time, more time than Nice, because that's not the same kind of owners. Nice, they want fast success. I'm comparing a lot to Nice, but I could compare to Marseille because it's kind of the same thing with Frank McCourt. So it's going to be slower, but it's gonna work in the future. I really believe.
Yeah, I hope so.
Matthew as well, and the fact that Rennes, I think they've been drawn with Spurs, haven't they, in the Europa League conference? So, and they're quite worried about that, which shows you how big and how good the French league clubs are at the moment, and they can compete like they're.
I mean, I'm speaking under the control of someone who watches a lot Ligue 1 with me, but I mean, let's agree that Rennes aren't great at all in Ligue 1 so far. I mean, they've been better 1 or 2 years ago. The season they go out to Arsenal, like they lose 3-1, I think, or 4-1, and they won the first game. They won the first game, actually. They were much better. They won the Coupe de France. I believe it was next season or the same season. I don't remember exactly.
Same season.
Yeah, it was the same season. Yeah, they were much better, and it's kind of showing that French football is, despite being now the 6th best league, apparently, it's objectively way better than the Portuguese league. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the future you see the French league going in front or up, just being objectively a better league than Serie A, because Serie A is on a massive decline. Which is the complete opposite to the French league. And I would add lastly, and I will stop my monologue after that, but it's quite surprising because we went through the Media Pro crisis not long ago. We're still under it technically, and I think despite all the negativity and all the bad things that it brings to the league, because we're lacking money, we're lacking everything. We see institutions that are just falling and falling. You see, I think it's is it Nancy who were in Ligue 1 last year and know the bottom of League 2 or something? Is it another club?
Nîmes. Yeah, it's Nîmes.
Oh yeah, Nîmes. Yeah, Nîmes. You see clubs like Nîmes, they've been just destroyed, absolutely bodied by the Media Pro crisis and the COVID crisis, and it kind of forced the promoted sides and the arising sides to play a great, attractive football, to drag interesting players, to drag youth to their team, and they need Liga. We need to have broadcasters that are interested in broadcasting the league, and you don't want to broadcast a league in which every game is a 0-0 or 1-0.
Yeah,
and just. You don't want that, so you need to play great football, and it kind of forced it. And now we see interesting coaches that are approached by rising clubs. It's great. Honestly, it's great. I wasn't expecting it at all.
Yeah, me too. The only thing I would say is I pretty much agree with the fact that Ligue 1 is getting better and better, especially as far as what's happening on the pitch for a lot of clubs. The big problem I think we have is we don't have a group of big clubs that stay stable.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
always have a big club that get ahead of another one. I mean, when we're good, Lyon is bad. When Marseille is good, somebody else is bad. And we don't have like
That's true.
3 or 4 clubs that stay consistently good with a consistent board and a consistent coach.
It used to be Lyon and PSG. It used to be,
it used
but
to be
Lyon
Lyon
are
and PSG.
folding. So, but it was just 2 clubs, so your point still stands.
I mean, I'm sure Marley's got a question as well. I just wanted to ask, what do you think of Monaco at the moment, and the fact that they're not really up in there at the moment? And they've won Champions League. They had really good teams. You know, looking at Thierry Henry.
They've not won the Champions League though. They've went to a final, but they didn't win it.
Yeah,
They lost to Porto.
Yeah, 3-0.
Fans not being able to
dreadful.
go. The fact that it's in such a rich place in Monaco, that is that the problem with Monaco at the moment?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked the question, because Monaco is a pretty complicated club because they have rich ownership. They tried to buy big players, even recently with Ben Yedder and all of that.
But
it's a lot of money.
Really work.
Yeah, it works, and Monaco is a perfect example of what I was saying. They're gonna have an amazing season, and then they're gonna be down. And then they're gonna have an amazing season. It's always it's always like that. Like
it's literally like Lille. Literally like Lille.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
One team that I want to touch on, and they're not doing horribly. They're not doing as well as they could be if they weren't in such a crisis, because they look like the team with the most capability of stabilizing themselves as the second strength, which I say it's Lyon.
Yeah.
But they are in such a deep crisis that they're forced to sell. Like, they're forced to lose a couple of players. I'm sure Aouar is going to be
crisis. Wouldn't say they're in a crisis. I mean, there's just not a lot of money, but still, they invested. They didn't invest like Marseille or Nice, but they still invested quite a bit. I reckon. Paqueta is the best player in Ligue 1, period.
Paqueta's doing so well.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He's absolutely incredible. Like, honestly, is it a bad opinion? Is it a bad football opinion if I say he's a top 10 players in the world right now? I genuinely believe he's a top 10 player in the world. I mean, he's that great.
I think you might be overselling him a little bit.
I'm watching Lyon, and he's one of the best midfielders in the world.
No, he's doing so well, man.
He's definitely a top 5. He's definitely a top 5 midfielders in the world.
Wow,
definitely.
Wow.
To me, definitely. And I rate a lot of midfielders, but
if we're done with Lyon, I do want to talk about like this really cool crop of Brazilian midfielders playing in Ligue 1 right now. With you have Gerson as well at Marseille. I'm not sure how he's doing, but he's really good. If he hasn't been doing well, I'm sure he's going to grow into that. And I'm a huge fan of Bruno Guimarães from Lyon as well.
Yeah.
Huge fan of his. But yeah, I was talking about Lyon though, because you have a lot of exciting, like you see a lot of exciting players there, but like you hear rumors of Aouar being on the market for like, I don't know, 20, 25 million. Bruno Guimarães like for 30 mil, when he's probably worth around like 40 plus. Like you think prices when you read that.
I mean, the problem with Lyon, I mean, I'm gonna share my view, and I let you guys share yours. But my issue with Lyon is, okay, they have great and interesting players, but you always talk about the youth. Even Lyon fans, they are always, we have wonderful academy and such, and it's a meme in France because they are always behind their academy players. Like, they are always criticizing their whatever the coach may be. You can bring Antonio Conte if he's not starting at least 5 academy players. Every Lyon fan will be, but he's excellent. He's wonderful. He's world class. Why isn't he starting? It's always like that. But the issue is, they've been talking and praising the shit out of them. Sorry if I'm being quite vulgar. They've been praising them so much that they have quite a big ego, like a really big ego. You see players like Aouar, you see players like it was the case with Guiri. It's not in English, but they have just egos, and it's very difficult to handle that. But it's starting to work out. I mean, the coach. I was skeptical about the coach. Everyone fan were, and a lot of Ligue fans were like, yeah, he's a great coach, he plays attacking football. But I thought that Lyon was maybe too big for him, and he didn't have the backing to go in such a club because Lyon's still a big institution. But he's proving me wrong, and I think it's starting to work out. I mean, if you guys saw the last games, it's better and better.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. I think the big problem with Lyon was also the coaches they chose. I mean, they never had a coach that was as big as the club. They always
True.
took a coach that was a little bit,
Who was the last? Sorry if I'm interrupting you, but
Yeah.
Gérard Rouillet was the last coach.
Yeah,
Lyon
he was the
had
last big one.
that was
Yeah.
I mean, at the level of Lyon, he was the last one.
Exactly.
It was, and rest in peace. But it was like fucking 15 years ago,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
more, maybe
because,
20 years ago. No, it's more. It's 20 years ago actually.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that it's because the president Jean-Michel Aulas he has a big influence on the club, and he pretty much didn't like that he could have a coach as big as him, or that really is with authority and all of that. And
He wants to be the big name behind out of the
Exactly.
pitch, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think choosing Peter Bosz was a great choice. I was scared also because he plays offensive and attractive football. But in a club like Lyon, if it goes bad in the first 4 or 5 games, it could start to be complicated. And actually, it's actually going well now. They seem to be letting him work and letting him do his thing, and it's pretty much working. So I think they're gonna have a great season. I think they're gonna have a great season.
I would agree, but only if they have a strong transfer window in this winter. Because to me, Peter Bosz is still lacking some players. He's lacking a bench.
Yeah, true.
Definitely lacking a bench.
Don't you see them losing at least one midfielder though?
What do you mean?
I see one of our Bruno Guimarães or Paquetá leaving.
Oh, I mean,
maybe next summer.
I don't think. I mean,
maybe next summer.
Lyon, they don't really need to sell. I mean, Jean-Michel Aulas he's quite stacked.
They've already got rid
Lyon
of
is well run, so
he's gone to Arsenal to pay.
Yeah.
He's
He
a
went
big
for
loss.
free.
He went for free to
It's
Barcelona.
one of their best players. Is gone.
He was their best player.
Yeah.
Quite clearly.
No, he was doing so well. Yeah, he was their best player by far.
Oh yeah, by far, by some distance.
Yeah, but
I mean, you see
thought
it. You
they
see
needed
it.
to sell because they haven't made any money. Sure, they're going to spend a little less with Depay, but like they had to make money. They haven't made that money. That's why Aouar, who was just worth 50 million one transfer window, was now worth like 20-25.
They didn't sell him at the right time.
They should have. The issue is that Aouar kind of and Ndombele, even if he left, but they are kind of confirming my point that they have just egos way bigger than what they actually are as players.
Mm-hmm.
You see Ndombele, truthfully, you see how Mourinho and Nuno Espirito Santos, how they are dealing with him. I mean, it's kind of dreadful, but at the same time, if they are handling him like they are, I mean, there's a reason behind it, and you can't just blame the coaches. Lyon graduates are not really hardworking, and so it's I think if the deal didn't go through, it's partially due to the players. Maybe I think it's fair for clubs to have doped graduates because a lot of them have been successful, and you have Benzema as like the big figure. But name me honestly, can anyone name a Lyon graduate that has done like half or just half as good as Benzema? Like, can you guys name one in the last 20 years? Half as good. I mean, it's just impossible. They have plenty of great players going through their academy, but just I think people are living on the hype of Benzema when they say Lyon was the best academy, because do they still have the best academy in France, Lyon? Do they still?
I think so, because other clubs have as much of
I mean, Metz at some point, but I mean, it's trembling, but at some point.
most players recently have come from France, like big signings. Like you look at Camavinga, who's gone to Real Madrid. And
Camavinga, Osimhen, Nicolas Pepe,
well,
Tanguy Ndombele. You have plenty of players.
Yeah, but a lot of, we're better at recruiting players and then selling them for high, more than getting them through the academy.
Yeah.
What do you make
from us? You've made over 100 million pounds just from Arsenal with Gabriel and Pepe.
Yeah. Well, the club didn't make it. I think the club made like 10 euros, and João Lopez went to
truthfully.
The rest of the money in his pockets, because I don't understand how the club could be in a crisis with all of the selling we've done. So there's really some things that happen behind the scenes that are really weird.
I think it's partially the media pro crisis that. We underestimate the impact of the media pro crisis, considering it happened alongside COVID. I think we really underestimate that, and we see it with. I mean, I'm going to take the example of Nîmes again, but Nîmes, I mean, they're going down. Bordeaux, they're going down. Saint-Etienne, they're going down. Saint-Etienne is a mess, by the way. I don't know if you guys had a word about it, but it's actually hilarious. Like you have two owners, two people are sharing the ownership.
Haven't won, right? They haven't won yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're so shit. My prediction starting, I mean, there was 0 Ligue 1 games played, so game week 0 technically. I said Bordeaux to finish 20th and Saint-Etienne to finish 19th. 18th, truthfully, I had no idea. I just said those two, they're going down, not even fighting for relegation, they're just going down. They're so shit. And you see it, I mean, they are. You look at, I mean, Bordeaux probably.
Bordeaux is going to save. Yeah, I think Bordeaux is going to save it.
I don't.
Because they still have the players to be able to just stay in Ligue 1, like finish like 15th or something like that.
Honestly, I would disagree. I would say they have the coach, but not the player. The players.
I don't know.
They have a great coach. They have the Swiss
Switzerland.
Coach.
Yeah.
Petkovic, I think.
I'm just going to cut in just because we haven't actually read out any comments from the viewers. If you are viewing right now, please do smash a like, smash share, and smash subscribe.
Yeah. It's great to be back.
Thank you, Matthew. And you know what, Matthew, I haven't seen you for a long time, bro. So thank you so much for coming back on with us today. Anthony Herbert here from Bristol says, "Hi, Matt and cousin. I got to say that was the longest bloody intro of my life."
We're worth the wait, mate. We're worth the wait.
Wasn't there to see it?
Yeah. Oh, you want to watch it, mate? It's
really big up, brother.
From this guy as well. MU, big up, Talk MU. Big Marseille fan. He does say it down there below. Hey, panel. Yes, you got someone who talks about League 1 and 2. Nice. Is that Nice or nice? What you saying there, mate? Can't tell.
Static Wonder. Always a pleasure, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Alez PSG. Good show, guys. Anthony again says, "Glad you're doing the
Matt. Ali.
Yeah, it's not Alez, it's Ali. But it's fine. It's fine.
French is a mess.
Yeah. French is a mess.
I got you. Okay. I like to say Alez. Sorry, wrong. Glad you're doing the French league along with the teams of PSG, Monaco, Lyon, and Marseille. Lille, a few good top teams. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Oh yeah, Auxerre, yeah.
I do have
stuck in League 2.
There you go, Anthony. You got it wrong. I do have bad memories of Auxerre being a Arsenal fan and Naeem with that goal by the halfway line in the Winners' Cup final. I do remember that. I was very happy about that. Viva la Marseille! Viva la Marseille!
Yeah, that's the anthem. That's the French anthem.
One here. We'll do the rest later on. One from Stephen Featley. Shout out to Stephen Featley right now.
Big up, bro. Big up.
Shout out.
Still recovering. Big up, everyone. Check your messages, Matt. I definitely have, bro. And Britch Mill. Cheers, all. Everyone looking good. And Matthew, he knows you're looking good even behind the screen, bro. So
we guess.
And I got a new webcam. It's 60 frames per second now, but I can't show it because I haven't taken a shower and I look fucking shit.
So what I wanted to ask you is the next topic. We have to really talk about it. We haven't even said anything about PSG, but how do you feel Messi now being in the league and a lot of other players from in PSG. You got Wijnaldum there as well. You got Ramos.
He's doing dreadful, by the way, Wijnaldum.
He's doing dreadful. But
Oh
if
yeah,
it
he's
has
complete
changed-
shit.
But Matthew, has it changed viewing the Ligue? Because he's there. Is it better or worse?
Honestly, I mean, Messi just. You look at Spain.
It's changing the view on Messi.
No, but you look in Spain. Like Ligue 1 is one of the most followed league in Spain now, just because of Messi. And when I think one of, if not the most followed, due to PSG, and so it's great for the marketing and such. But it's going to be a big claim, big shout. But I would say PSG are worse with all the transfers now. I mean, and it's not the transfers; it's because of Pochettino, because he's a dreadful coach. I will say it. I have never liked him. He's not a great.
It's not that
he's not suited for PSG. He's not.
Yeah,
he's not
that's
coach
the
for
thing.
big teams.
That's the thing.
If I were PSG, I would have gotten like Massimiliano Allegri when he was available. I would have gotten. I mean, no, it wouldn't have worked, Massimiliano Allegri, truthfully. But I would have got like maybe someone like Antonio Conte. He would have done different transfer window. Maybe wouldn't have worked with the current the Qatari at the clubs. The issue is the Qatari at the clubs. They want a coach who doesn't want to speak to. They don't want a personality. They want someone with no personality, who's crystal clear. If I can use this expression, they want someone who's calm. Basically, they don't want a Sampaoli. They don't want a Conte. They don't want an Allegri. They wouldn't even want a Sir Alex Ferguson. They wouldn't want someone like that. And the issue is you can't manage a dressing room like the one of PSG with a coach like Pochettino, with a coach like Laurent Blanc, which they had previously, with a coach like that, because they it's like when Rafael Benitez went to Real Madrid. Do you guys remember that? Like when he was trying to teach Ronaldo how to take free kicks? Yeah, it's basically the same things. It's literally the same thing. The same things.
Yeah, I think. Unfortunately, I think you said Pochettino isn't suited for PSG. I think no coaches in the world are suited for PSG. If you have so many stars in a team, how do you want to coach them? You're not gonna tell Messi to run.
Yeah.
Messi never ran in his life. When he doesn't have the ball.
But I have one fair shout for that. But yesterday I had a good chat with my friend Rich, and he's a Tottenham fan. He was talking about Pochettino, and we're saying that like he's a project manager, right? Like every single star at Tottenham became a star under Pochettino. He never bought any players. Like Pochettino doesn't have look at that. Like 5 main players in the world right now: Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldo, and Lewandowski. 3 of them are playing the same attack.
No, honestly, Neymar isn't anything.
He's not.
I'm not saying best. I'm saying most important.
Most important, because he's not even top 15 in the world right now. He's just not playing.
I agree with you. I'm just saying,
big I mean, he's getting fit, but you look at how the relationship between Mbappe and him is just complete chaos. If you guys didn't see it, basically last game, Mbappe. I'm gonna have to translate it, but so Draxler scored. Draxler scored, I think it was, and the assist was by Neymar. And when he scored, Mbappe was filmed. I think he was talking to Idrissa Gueye, I think, and he literally said something like, "This is gonna be children, don't listen." He quite literally said, "This son of a bitch wouldn't pass it to me. He would have, this son of a bitch wouldn't have passed it to me." It's what I heard. It's maybe it's been amplified, but
I think he said this dog or something like
that.
This dog wouldn't pass it to me, which is an insult in French.
I mean, it's not even better, but he insulted. It's not working, and Messi. I mean, Messi's not running. Messi. It's complicated. Messi actually.
Yeah, you can't have those. If you want to play Messi plus Mbappe plus Neymar, they're just not going to play defense. How do you want to play defense with them?
But even then, the attack just doesn't work, because Messi at right winger, that means you have to play Mbappe as a striker, and as a striker, Mbappe is terrible. It's terrible, but just like Cristiano Ronaldo is terrible as a striker, because he needs to use space to actually run between the lines, and he can't do that as a striker. So Mbappe as a striker just doesn't work. We've seen that. We've seen that in the French national team. We've seen that previously under Thomas Tuchel. Just doesn't work. Or else you can try to have Messi as a number 10, and then have some kind of Neymar as a second striker and Mbappe as a striker. It doesn't work as well. You can play Messi as a false 9, but he's just not the Messi he was like 5 years ago. He can't run enough. And in addition, even if you want to play all of them, what are you doing with Di Maria, who's just always performing well? He's the guy you never expect him to perform, but he's always the one at the end of the season who's going to start. He's going to start every game at the end of the season because he's the only one who will perform. So you can maybe play him in midfield, but then you have Wijnaldum, who's just not great. You have Verratti. You have to start Verratti, but then Verratti, 60th minute, dead.
Yeah, he's out every time.
Paredes. The problem is Paredes it's lacking physicality quite clearly. Okay, you have Idrissa Gueye, may work, but then who do you pair him with? Wijnaldum, but Wijnaldum he's just not good at all.
Yeah, it's just a big mess. It's a big mess. I mean, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with the fact that Mbappe can't play as a striker. I think
as a striker, we've seen it. He's just not great. Maybe in Ligue 1. I mean, we've seen it in French national team. It didn't work.
Yeah, but when they went to the semi-final last year, he also had pretty good games playing as a striker.
It was quite a lucky run.
It is, guys. It is so weird to see Ramos and Messi in the same team.
Yeah, that's so weird.
I mean, Ramos just always injured, so we technically haven't seen him yet. But
yeah, true. We see him on social media.
Yeah, exactly. We see him in the news. They're always injured.
My friend Antoine was supposed to come today as well. I don't think he's going to be able to make it, but he's a huge PSG fan, and he seemed to be hopeful that Pochettino is going to be getting the sack soon, and that PSG is going to bring in Zinedine Zidane.
No.
Do you guys think that's a fair shout? Because at the very least, he's used to working with big names, right?
Yes, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. Some people say it's impossible because apparently Zidane is linked with Marseille, which is never played there. Just nonsense.
I think you give him the right amount of money and the right project, he's going to go.
And Zidane isn't a man who will ask for a lot of money. His contract at Real Madrid, he was not one of the most paid coach in the world. Of course, he wasn't like the least paid one, but at the same time, you see coaches like Simeone. Simeone has. Have you guys seen the contract Simeone has? He has the biggest contract in the world. It's ridiculous. Like the biggest, quite clearly.
Yeah, because they didn't want him to go to PSG at the time. I think that's why they gave him this.
Let me guess, guys. Let me guess, Matthew. Is it till 2050?
Probably. No, actually, he was close to joining Inter. Simeone not long ago.
Yeah, true.
It's probably so long that even his son will take
over. He needs to take over. Yeah.
Truthfully, he's been there for long. He's gonna stay there for long. What I wanted to say with PSG, I mean, Pochettino is getting the sack, but if he's getting the sack, you have to figure out. Everyone is like, PSG doesn't work because the front three, the team. I don't think the team is the biggest issue at PSG. I think it's the owners. Everyone are like, they have the best owners, but at the same time, you look at the owners and they're like, we don't want coach with a big personality. Have you guys read the declaration they made about Mbappe? And they were like, he's gonna renew his contract because he asked for big names. He wanted a big team, a stacked team. We gave him one, and just provocations. They didn't let him go to Real Madrid. It was just a question of ego. Because
it's just politics. Because you have the World Cup, obviously, and
the World Cup next year. So I think the issue is the owners, and if they sack Pochettino, it's for who?
Yeah, and even if you I don't even think Zidane would go because I think he's smart, and for his image, who's gonna go coach PSG in that state with so many stars and so many egos to handle? I mean, that's
nobody wants to go there. It's almost like Arsenal. It's almost like Arsenal or Tottenham, but for the exact opposite reasons. Is that Arsenal sometimes is just you don't want to go there because
you don't have the players.
You need to renew all the team, but you have no money. PSG, you have too much money, but you can't do anything.
But I think it was the fact that they came out with a statement saying we don't want to sell Mbappe to Real Madrid. We want more money than what we got for him. Well, he's going on a free now.
Yeah.
The statement didn't make any sense to me. I
No,
know
but-
what they're trying to do with it, but they said they didn't want to sell him for less than what they got for him. But he's going.
Yeah, it's just
on-
provocations. It's just
Yeah,
provocations.
there's just
Because
politics.
even if Real Madrid came and said, "Here, 200 millions," they would have said no either way. They said, "Yeah, but they would have
Why did they say that in their statement? Why did they say that they wanted more?
just for provocation, just
Yeah.
because they knew Real Madrid wouldn't align. They wouldn't do that."
Yeah, I think they just want him to stay as long as possible, and especially with the World Cup coming in the end of 2022 in Qatar.
They
I think
need
in
big
terms
names,
of
they need
in
figures.
image and all of that. So they probably were like, even though it's gonna cost us a lot of money if we don't sell him, just do your best to make him renew during the season, and if he leaves, he leaves. But at least they'll do their best so that he can stay for the World Cup at the end
Yeah.
of next year. I think.
That's
That's just
exactly it.
politics. They don't even think about sports, actually.
Yeah, because you look at Neymar, you look at other players that just they're not playing great, but
Yeah, because
they
if-
don't care.
if
They're selling shirts.
If we talk about marketing and communication and
It's
the way
it's
a
the best
club
club
is
in the
handled,
world.
no
It's the best
problem
club
with
in
that.
the world.
Messi is the best signing you could have ever
Oh yeah,
done. For
it's the
that.
best.
But
Yeah.
in terms of sports, I don't think it will work out.
But
But
I
I'm
really
still
thought
happy
they
with
would.
it because I'll be able to see him at the stadium. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
a big
always
occasion
great.
for us in Ligue 1 to be able
Exactly.
to see him. That's great for us. But
No,
for PSG, sportively, I don't.
no, it's
I don't think it's going to work out.
honestly, I was inches away of believing they would actually get Ronaldo in the same transfer window. I was inches away of believing it. I really thought they would bring in Ronaldo while they were at it.
Ah,
Bring in Messi, bring in Ramos, just bring in Ronaldo. Let's do it.
bring
Yeah,
everybody.
whatever.
Well, I'm so
I mean-
glad Ronaldo decided to go to Man United. Definitely
Yeah.
happy about that one. Let me read out a few more comments, and I'll let Marley ask maybe one more question to you guys. Then we'll shout out the socials because the Champions League is back on right now, and we are at 45 minutes. Stephen says, hopefully I'll be out of hospital by next week so I can be back on, as I missed the show. And you guys, Stephen, hope you get well soon, mate. Take care.
Yes,
Of yourself.
Get well.
I'll see you on
Yeah.
Friday though. But yes, get better, man.
Get well. My thoughts are with you. Brit Spiel from, I think you were from Texas originally. I don't remember where you moved to now, but from America. Thank you, Brit, for joining us today. Anthony Herbert, Matt, Hyde, Jones, who says? Is that say? Do say?
Hmm?
The last word there. Do say?
Deuce.
See,
Deuce.
my pronunciation.
Deuce.
I've been in Spain, so I'm like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thanks, Brit, bro. I'm getting better slowly. The pain is still very bad, very painful at the moment. Don't worry, Stephen.
You're a
you'll get
warrior,
better.
man.
Stay strong.
Warrior.
Stay strong.
You're a warrior, mate.
Yeah.
Glad you're getting better. That's great to hear. Thank you, Brit, mate. Solo from the Man United Agenda. Go check them out. Really good channel. My favourite Man United channel of all time. And Solo is the main guy. And, well, Amondi and Mr. B, of course. Big
Oh,
up, Solo.
PSG
Yeah.
just scored. against
PSG
Man City,
scored.
right?
Woo! Shh.
Are they making us?
For real?
Are they making us lie?
Don't ruin it for the viewers. They might not be watching
Well,
it.
It's always like that. It's always like that. When you talk bad about a club, they start winning. It's always,
Yeah.
it's always like that.
Anthony causing problems.
Idrissa Gueye.
Big up, Stephen. Play it.
and guys,
again.
I said it by the way. Inter, they are again going to bottle it. I said it. Remember, I said it. We're going to
Oh, yeah.
bottle the group.
Oh,
I mean,
don't-
we drew to fucking Shakhtar.
Oh, no. Hey, I watched it, Matt. It was a terrible performance. Good. You hit the bar though. That was a very impressive shot from. I can't remember the name of the guy.
I couldn't
Yes.
watch it. So I was I was in the lesson.
The
So
highlights. Solo.
Yeah,
How
well.
weekend did you stay in Villa for the weekend? No, he definitely didn't. Hi, this is from you, right?
Leipzig are leading as well. Leipzig 1-0 to Bruges, and Kunku again scored. Guys,
He's been fire.
we need to keep an eye on Nkunku. I mean, he's been the star man against, it was Hertha Berlin, I think. My German pronunciation was absolutely dreadful, but Hertha, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Berlin. I guess.
I suppose, yeah.
Right,
He scored a hat trick the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, hat trick in Manchester City. He scored. Was it double or some assist? It's just he's world class.
let me
Yeah.
quickly read these out, guys, and we can just quickly move on
Yep.
to Martin's last ones. I think
You know,
they
it's
would.
it's Idris Gueye who scored. Idris Gueye again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
he was a
hang
former
on.
player in Lille.
one sec, guys. Let me just read these out quickly. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry.
because it's just the comments coming in all the time. I think they were just being stubborn because he didn't re-up on his contract. Why else turned down the offer for Real Madrid? Big up all from Rich Sports. Hello again, Rich. Moved to Iowa. Big up to you, Brit, in Iowa from Texas. Sorry about that. Are you watching tonight? We will be in a
We
minute.
will.
And I'll move it on for sure, trying to get back into the routine. And it'll be good to see you back, mate. There we go. Right. Marley, last questions, and then we'll
All
finish
right.
it.
Well, like it's with PSG having won every single game they've played in the league this far, like it's a little silly to ask for predictions. If you can give predictions for European spots, that'd be kind of cool. But I do have a simple question to ask. Because I know the investment's much bigger. Do you think PSG's already obtained the same level of dominance that Lyon had for a good years? Because I think they
No.
won like 8 consecutive seasons, right?
7.
7. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how I want to wrap up.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, and no at the same time. Yes, economically speaking. Yes, because they outplayed everyone, but at the same time, Ligue 1 was much better back
Yeah,
then.
exactly. That's what I was
So
going to say.
no, because to dominate Ligue 1 back then was much harder. Because Bordeaux were excellent. Saint-Etienne
I'm
was
not
still
sure
great.
of that. Yeah.
Bordeaux, they were great in the late
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah, but I
they
wouldn't
won the
agree on the
Ligue 1
fact.
since
I
were
wouldn't
good
agree.
players.
Yeah, but I wouldn't agree on the.
Nantes were fucking fabulous. Nantes,
Yeah.
at the turn of the century, they.
I think it's been a
Lens as well.
while since Nantes were
It's been a while.
fabulous.
Yeah, but when Nantes were good, they were really fucking good. By the way, they played one of the best football I have ever seen. Like clearly, one of the very best football we've seen ever. Period. It was really so good to watch.
But I wouldn't agree on the fact that Ligue 1 was stronger at the time. I actually believe
Would you?
The opposite.
I think it was more balanced actually. More balanced and
more balanced, but the level
there was overall more
lower.
quality.
Yeah.
I think there was more
That's what I
quality
feel
in my
like.
opinion. Yeah, I can agree.
Okay.
I try to base a bit my opinion on the European performances a bit, and I mean, and
we've never been really good on the European.
we were
think
slightly
about the fact
better
that-
the last decade. We were slightly better though.
Yeah.
We're still
Because back
slightly.
then, I think for that Lyon spell, the best player was Juninho, right? Pernambucano?
No,
Juninho
I would
Benfica.
disagree. Juninho, it's great free kicks and nothing else, quite clearly. I mean, as a midfielder, he wasn't really that good of a player, objectively speaking. He's kind
I
of
think he
living.
scored against Menu as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's kind of
against
living on
Barcelona too.
he's been living on his free kick legacy. But Lyon just had a very, 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 very good team. Like,
It was very
good team.
balanced.
They have great players at every position. There was a rotation, always bringing new players. I think honestly they started declining when they they brought Gourcuff in. I think after Gourcuff it was just dreadful appointments.
Yeah, and we at Lille really know about that because they used to come and pay a lot of money for all players.
Yeah, true.
When they were performing with us, and when they come over there, they just shit every time.
I remember
Every
that,
time,
yeah.
25 millions, 30 millions on a lot of players.
Yeah, they invested.
Thiago Mendes, for example. Thiago Mendes is working.
Thiago
Yusuf Kone isn't working. There's a lot of players that.
Did we do the predictions, Marley? Is that done?
Yeah, quick predictions if you can. Like which teams are getting European spots?
No.
Other than PSG.
Do we do relegation as well? I mean, it's quite clearly.
If you want, really quickly though, don't explain yourself. Just throw names.
Very quick though, guys. Be very quick if you can.
I'll let you start first.
Okay.
I'll go after. I'll let you start first.
Okay. I'll say for the top 3, it would be PSG, Marseille, and Nice.
Okay.
And 4 and 5th, I'll go with Lyon and Lens,
Okay.
which is unfortunate because we hate
Yeah.
Lens. But I'm trying to be objective right now.
Yeah.
Where do you
Relegation.
think? Where do you think Lille will finish?
6th,
Okay, fair enough.
because we didn't start really good. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll be. I mean, it's very early in the season, so it's hard to make predictions. But right now, after 8 games, that would be my predictions.
I don't really trust your coach, but the game against
Yeah, me too.
against Wolfsburg was really great.
Yeah.
Go on,
really,
Matthew.
really.
What's yours?
Don't you want to do relegation?
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Say everything you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you want to do relegation before I go?
Be as quick as you can, mate. We got a few minutes left to say what where you think top and bottom. What do you think?
For me, the bottom, I would say Brest, which is unfortunate because I like this club. Troyes, which is unfortunate too because they play great football. I think Troyes will go down. And Metz.
Okay.
Starting from 20th?
Yeah,
19th,
Metz.
17th? Okay.
Yeah, I think Metz and Troyes are going to fight for the 18th.
It was Saint-Etienne and Bordeaux staying. Wow, this actually so much.
I mean, they always find a way to stay in the first.
No, yeah, I get it.
Saint-Etienne, maybe. Saint-Etienne could go down, but I think Bordeaux is going to stay.
Okay, my top 3, so it's going to be very interesting because I have the exact same top 3, which is PSG, Marseille, and Nice. 4th and 5th. I would like
It's hard. 4th and 5th are hard.
Yeah, I would like to trust Monaco, but because last season Monaco were doing shit at the beginning and they kind of picked up the pace and it's kind of I would say fuck, I don't know.
Come on, quickly.
Yeah, I'm trying. Let's say Lens. Honestly, let's say Lens. I don't really trust Peter Bosch to if they don't have a great winter transfer window. 5th, still going to be Lyon, then maybe Monaco, and yeah, you could have Angers after. Relegation starting from 18th, Metz, then Bordeaux, then Saint-Etienne 20th.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, sorry, it was quite long for me.
It's all good.
Sorry to rush. It's just we're trying to keep it under an hour most shows.
Yeah.
And we are very much there. I'm just
I
going to
never
read
will.
out two more comments. Mr. Silver Fox from FTB Sports. Bonjour, Matt and the team.
Salut, mon pote.
Rich Mill, great show again, lads. Nice to get back to see everyone again. Matthew and Shaheen, can you
Liverpool scored. Mohamed Salah.
In Porto.
Don't tell me. Stop telling me. I want to watch it. Stop telling me. Shaheen, start with you first, mate. Tell us where we can find you on your social medias, and thank you so much, mate, my friend, for coming on again.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Renato White 9. Renato because of Renato Sanchez, and White because of Kobe White because I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan.
Yo.
And the number 9 at the end. I created it actually. It's my first public Twitter just to be able to talk with you guys. So you can find me there.
Okay,
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on, mate. Matthew.
Yes, the no webcam guy. You can find me at @footballerviewer on Instagram, and I'm getting back to Instagram soon enough once I've moved to another apartment. And you can find me on Football Viewer Comps on YouTube, and soon Football Viewer on YouTube as well. 2 YouTube channels.
Thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for inviting us.
No, mate, thank you. We'll get you back on soon. Marley, we
Definitely.
are done. We're at the hour mark.
Yeah, we're done. I'm done.
Thank everybody for tuning in today. Smash subscribe, like if you can, and give it a rewatch, and enjoy the rest of your week. Until Thursday for United Across the Globe, we will see you again soon. And take care, everybody. Enjoy Champions League, all right? Next 2 days.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you.
everyone. Allez, Lille.